Good morning. I wanted to share a couple amazing things that happened past couple days, actually. Um, actually, three things, but the third one I don't want to jump the gun on, but I just wanted to share. Um, I haven't been doing well for the past, I'd say 4 months now, maybe 3 months. I've been very psychologically distant. Talked about it a little bit, but it's not easy. Anyway, I asked God, because of how I was feeling. I lost sleep over it 2 nights ago, and then I ended up working a 10-hour day on Sunday, so I'm pretty wiped out today. But anyway, I asked God that night. I pretty much said to him, I've been waiting for a while now, and Lord, please, can you share with me some advice or some um, something direct, something that will give me a clue about this? I haven't been feeling good for 4 months now, and I really don't understand this. I hate feeling like this, and I don't want to walk away from you or get distracted with something with sin or make a mistake in pursuing something. And so I asked God, can you please give me something today that, tell me something, please. Which is ridiculous. It's kind of arrogant on my part to ask something like that of God. And yet he still grants it to me. He is so merciful, and I am so arrogant and selfish. But anyway, I went to work that morning. 10-hour day it ended up being, because there was an emergency with Jason. His daughter broke her arm. Please pray for him and his family and his daughter. She broke her arm. She's only 4 years old, just a baby. And I had to come back to work and work a few more hours to cover him, because he had to get out of there and go to the hospital. So it was a long day. I'm pretty tired today, but anyway, I came into work, and one of my first customers, I think it was maybe the first or second, I guess it was the second, no, third. And he comes in, I greet him, and he does his shopping, and I get my Bible out like I normally do, get all that ready, and I'm just waiting at the counter, waiting to ring him out for whatever he's buying. And when he comes up, he says, I knew there was something different about you. I mean, everybody here is so nice, but I knew it. I knew there was something like that's it right there. That's it. And he starts breaking down in front of me and telling me all his problems. And the main thing he keeps emphasizing, guess what? Guess what he emphasizes to me? It's unbelievable. It is believable, of course, because I asked for it. He says to me, I've been praying to God since I was 26 years old for a wife. I'm 51, and I'm having so much trouble raising my sons. My daughters got so screwed up by my grandparents that didn't even know God. And here you are reading that Bible, and he just tells me all this. And the main issue, regardless of all his, he has tremendous problems. Please pray for this guy. He says, I can't talk to any of my friends. I can't talk to my family. They have no idea. They don't see it from God's perspective. They don't see it from the Word of God, any of my problems or what's going on. And but that was the main thing. 26, 25? He's 26, he's 51, says 25. 25 years this guy has been waiting for a wife from God. For a wife. And God hasn't given it to him. Yes, he has his sin issues. He's got multiple sons out of wedlock and daughters, and sounds like he had something else going on. He's got a speech impediment, but he says, I can talk to you perfectly clear, even though I have this, and he does kind of stutter a little bit because he's nervous about it. But that was the main thing. Now think about that. Think about me and what I've been dealing with. I'm struggling with it too. Do you want a wife? You ask God for a wife, but you don't really want a wife. You're a selfish jerk, and you like the way things are. But then you feel terrible, you feel lonely, and you want a wife, but then you don't want a wife. What do you want? Do you want the same problems that guy has? Got multiple kids and no wife. And that's what he wants. That's what he's asking for. You know what I want? And that's what I told him. I said, it's amazing that you're talking to me because I have exactly the same problem. I want a wife too, but maybe I'm not supposed to have a wife, and I just want the Lord's will to be done in both our lives, and I'll be praying for you, sir. And he told me all kinds of other stuff. It was amazing, and he was on the verge of crying, and but it was God, I think, speaking to me through him that, I've felt like this for 4 months, and I'm not familiar with the sensation of, I don't know what this is, but it's a confusion. And or maybe it's love, and I don't really know how to deal with it because I've never really felt that for anybody. But I haven't had too many friends or anything, so I don't know how to deal with it. And it's only been 4 months. What a baby, once again, I gotta call myself a baby because 4 months, and then here's this guy waiting 25 years, and God still hasn't granted him his request. So maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe we're in a state in this country where we're right at the end, and it's not meant to, you're not meant to have a wife. It's like Jeremiah. Or maybe you're meant to have a wife, but 4 months is nothing. Maybe she's coming, and you need to be patient and continue to listen to God and talk to God. Anyway, I wrote all that down. I have a completely other story to share with you, but I would like to break this down into the chapter. The other issue was, I'm sorry, I'm hurrying up here. I read Psalm 13 in relation to this. This was while I was at work. Later in the day, I opened up Psalms, and so I wanted to share Psalm 13 really quick. I'm sorry, and then we'll get to Luke chapter 20. Because I just felt like it was totally related to how I was thinking, how I was feeling, and how I was talking to this guy. Psalm 13. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord? Forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? This is how I felt. For 4 months now, I have this, I don't know what this is. I've never felt this. Heart daily. How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? You want a wife, and here's your enemy laughing at you and saying, you can't have a wife, you loser, you know? And you wonder, why is this? Is it me? Is it... Three, consider and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord because he hath dealt bountifully with me. And that's the bottom line with all this, you know. I want an answer from God on this problem. But at the same time, you know how much he has blessed me these past couple of days and weeks? Some of the feedback I'm getting from people and God working in them, and I get to take a part in his ministry, you know. I have no reason to be complaining, but this is something that I want from God, and I want him to accomplish it. And I hate the enemy standing over me and laughing at me, you know. And but we live in such a broken, demon-infested world that it's so difficult to find something like true gold like that, you know. But at the same time, God is teaching me patience and love for people, and I just have to keep moving forward and hold on to him. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was totally related to that. So anyway, okay, let's get to actually what we want to talk about here, which is Luke chapter 20. So I'm going to start reading. Hey. Sorry. I just had to share that. I just thought that was so incredible. Just incredible. All right. Chapter 20 of Luke, verse 1. And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes came upon him with the elders, and spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority doest thou these things? Or who is he that gave thee this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then believest ye him not? But and if we say of men, all the people will stone us, for they be persuaded that John was a prophet. And they answered that they could not tell whence it was. And Jesus said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. And at the season he sent a servant to the husbandman, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard. But the husbandmen beat him, and sent him away empty. And again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the Lord of the vineyard, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It may be they will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard, and killed him. What therefore shall the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, God forbid. And he beheld them, and said, What is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him, and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar, or no? But he perceived their craftiness, and said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Show me a penny. Whose image and superscription hath it? They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer, and held their peace. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection, and they asked him, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, If any man's brother die, having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and died without children. And the second took her to wife, and he died childless. And the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. And Jesus answering said unto them, The children of this world marry, and are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. Now that the dead are raised, even Moses showed at the bush, when he calleth, The Lord, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not a God of the dead, but of the living. For all live unto him. Then certain of the scribes answering said, Master, thou hast well said. And after that they durst not ask him any question at all. And he said unto them, How say they that Christ is David's son? And David himself saith in the book of Psalms, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore calleth him Lord. How is he then his son? Then in the audience of all the people he said unto his disciples, Beware of the scribes which desire to walk in long robes, and love greetings in the markets, and the highest seats in the synagogues, and the chief rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. He pretty much only has a note on that last one there about the arrogance with the long robes. It's a funny comment. I'll read it in just a second here. But there's way more to talk about. If you took your time and read through this, there's a lot here. Especially, you probably want to, well, the vineyard's kind of self-explanatory there, I'd say. summed up in 17, right? He beheld them and said, "What is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner?" Question mark. So that's from Psalm 118:22, right? Where is that? Isaiah 8:14. Where's I? Yeah. So there's a reference for Isaiah 8:14. So prophetically, I mean, it's there in the Old Testament. That's predicting Christ. And the builders are the Jewish nation, the Israelites, and they're rejecting the stone. And he becomes the head of the corner, the cornerstone. So now you go through Jesus Christ in order to return to God, in order to be saved. It's through faith, grace through faith in him, and faith alone. So, but it does say at the top here, Matthew 21:33-46 and Mark 12:1-12. So I think it's the same parable repeated in both of those. So probably an important topic to talk about. What else could I glean from this? I mean, there's no end, really. Taxes, resurrection question. The Sadducees don't even believe in resurrection. That last verse there, for he is not a God of the dead, but of the living. For all live unto him. Thank God. Christ's deity. Oh yeah, that is an important topic there about David and Christ there from 39 to 44. Catholic priesthood. Well, that's his note. Sorry, I don't mean to slam the cat. You know, I speaking of Jason, God bless him, and please pray for his daughter and his family. But he told me he's Catholic, and I showed him this channel. I hope I haven't offended him. But he said to me, you know, he asked me about the Passion of the Christ, the movie, you know, the Mel Gibson movie, and I had, you know, I've talked about that before. I was prevented from watching that for years and years, and then I finally watched it for myself without anybody judging me or preventing me from watching it. And I watched it, and I said, "This is great." And Jason, told me, you know, we watch the Passion of the Christ every Easter together. So praise God for that, you know. Just because somebody says they're Catholic doesn't mean they're necessarily evil or they're not saved or something, you know. I think there are different theological issues. You could have a discussion with them. You know, I have other co-workers at my store that I love. I love very much, and so I don't judge you in any way about Catholicism. I come from the Catholic Church. You know all about that, and so I'm not insulting you in any way about that. But at the same time, I think the more you read your Bible, the more that religious institution becomes less and less relevant. The importance is Jesus Christ and what he has done. He has completed. It's finished. All you have to do is accept what he has done. So, yeah. But that was I really like Jason. He's a good guy. But anyway, so this note, so like I said, preface, I'm not trying to insult you. He's just making a point here about 45 through 47. Note on Matthew 23:15. Well, here's the verse he's talking about here from 46. Luke 20:46. Beware of the scribes which desire to walk in long robes and love greetings in the markets and the highest seats in the synagogues and the chief rooms at feasts. Okay, so here's the note. Note the long robes. This is special religious clothing. See note on Matthew 23:5. Jesus wore the common, ordinary, everyday clothing of his day. He did not run around in a black Halloween costume. So you see what he's saying there. Okay, I'm not making fun of anybody. He's making a point here, and okay, all right, I'm done. All right, we'll continue with 21 after I get a little more coffee. God bless. Thank you.